Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to provide support following a landslide in Sabah. Following the 9/21 earthquake, Hu Mingchang found his passion and a career in traditional folk acrobatics. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Joyce Ho. Thank you for joining us. In Sabah, Malaysia, continuous heavy rainfall led to a disastrous landslide, which broke through concrete retaining walls with astonishing force. Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized immediately to assess the disaster damage and provided cash assistance and emotional support.
Heavy rain caused mudslides leading to a disaster in Penampang district, Sabah. The landslides came suddenly and villagers hurriedly fled to a higher place. After the road was open, Tzu Chi volunteers immediately went to conduct a disaster relief survey and offer condolences.
I really wanted to sleep, but I can't fall asleep. My body feels a bit uncomfortable with back pain.
The impact of the mud flow was so strong that even a cement retaining wall was broken, exposing part of the building structure, with villagers experiencing minor injuries when they escaped.
I didn't notice the pain when the incident happened. I only thought of the children as I looked for the child and the mother. Later, when I calmed down, I felt the pain and I went to the hospital last night.
Fortunately, the whole family was fine, and the volunteers also went to the evacuation center to care for other affected villagers, delivering bread and dry food. After understanding the disaster situation, the volunteers returned to the village to issue condolence cash. Villagers still had lingering fears when they recalled the disaster.
The neighbors came and told us that we were in danger. They said come out soon. We heard an unusually loud noise at home, and then we rushed out. The sound was so loud. My grandson was terrified when he heard it.
What is needed most after a disaster are blessings and the power to rebuild the homeland. Seeing volunteers come once again has allowed villagers the chance to sweep away their haze of grief.
When we arrived, we stood outside and chatted with her. She said, "Hurry up and come into my house." Then she had a big smile, which was different from the one we saw when we went to the disaster investigation.
Thank you for your help. I sincerely thank you for helping us.
Ventilators such as high-flow nasal cannulas are much needed in hospitals with COVID-19 patients in order to provide oxygen therapy. The increasing numbers of COVID cases in Manila, Philippines has led to a shortage of equipment and resources in medical institutions. Hospital officials have come to Tzu Chi Philippines chapter asking for help.
Tzu Chi knows what a hospital needs, as volunteers sent medical supplies to Amang Rodriguez Memorial Medical Center. The supplies include life-saving high-flow nasal cannulas. Though the hospital already has this device, the increasing amount of COVID-19 patients have exhausted medical resources.
Ang sabi ko, yun ang pinakakailangan ko ngayon. So they donated.
I told Tzu Chi the devices I need. They donated 8 HNFCs to me, so after I am back in the hospital, I will open it and let the machine run because patients are waiting to use it. As for the future, if it comes to what we need the most, I will say we need full-body protective clothing. This is Tzu Chi Foundation. They not only just donate, they will ask what else you need.
So ganun po yung Tzu Chi Foundation, no? They don't just donate. They ask what you need.
Helping patients avoid intubation and to finally receive respiratory therapy, officials at Jose and Rodriguez Memorial Hospital celebrate with Tzu Chi at an online meeting.
Located in northern Malaysia, the country's smallest state, police have maintained a number of COVID cases within 2 digits for a long period of time. Unfortunately, the pandemic has recently worsened. The only governmental hospital and police was facing shortages of medical equipment and supplies. Tzu Chi volunteers acted quickly and delivered the much-needed support.
Perlis is the smallest state in Malaysia, located at the northern part of the West Coast Peninsula. The state's confirmed cases had stood firm in the double digits for the longest time. But recently there has been a sudden rise, causing the city government hospital to lack supplies and equipment to treat patients.
Thank you for Tzu Chi's assistance. These will come in handy to treat COVID patients.
The increase in patients also means an increase in need of patient beds. Thus, 2 isolation centers were established.
The setup and equipment is not that suitable to start for medical purposes. And during this process, we have come across problems such as not enough patient beds. We also need proper medical equipment to help the nursing staff.
After donating medical equipment so many times, the volunteers are quite familiar with the process now.
If we are able to do our share to help, then that is our blessing. We should do it with joy in our hearts.
Going to the hospital so many times, we have really felt the needs of the hospitals. It's not about how much we help, but if we can help save one person, then we should.
Doing our part for the pandemic, we all hope for this to end soon.
Chen Xiaomei, an elderly living alone in Malaysia, wrote a letter of encouragement to Tzu Chi volunteers when she learned that Tzu Chi is fundraising for medical equipment in Malaysia. Although she lives a difficult life, Chen Xiaomei donated to the fundraising and called upon others to contribute.
Tan Tzu Moi, who lives in Sarawak, Malaysia, is an elderly person living alone. She is happy when Tzu Chi volunteers come to visit. On weekdays, she lives a simple life on public welfare. When she learned that Tzu Chi was going to raise money to help frontline medical care, she wrote a letter of encouragement.
慈济加油，感恩有你，有你们真好，一起守护，一起加油。
A few words of hope and encouragement are given to the volunteers along with a newspaper clipping about donated medical equipment. From these words, one can call on more people to be kind.
This is not a matter for one person. It is a matter for everyone. This pandemic is very serious. Do you know that? Hurry up and raise the money. Hurry up and buy it and give it to the hospital. The sooner the better, right? Don't wait any longer. Don't procrastinate every day, as the medical system will collapse. I thought that the title was Guardian of Life. Everyone has a responsibility. So when I walked in, I heard Sister telling her that she was very grateful. We came into her home and gave her an opportunity to give. I feel very touched right now.
The letter revealed her concerns about the pandemic as Tan Tzu Moi also donated to the cause, offering her sincere blessings to her country.
Tzu Chi Singapore chapter launched a 21-day healthy diet challenge in early August. Volunteers insisted on using reusable containers so that both vegetarianism and environmental factors can be incorporated.
The first round of Singapore's 21-day healthy diet challenge was launched in early August. It required volunteers' wisdom and perseverance to deliver the exquisite healthy meals to participants and then return the empty containers to the vegetarian restaurant.
师姐，大约10分钟到。
We started to deliver lunches at 11 a.m. and collect used empty containers from the participants. At 4:10 p.m., I need to go again to collect the washed containers, around 20 from Tzu Chi's sister Nancy Zhu, because we have to take turns in using the containers.
During the 21 days, Tzu Chi volunteers Li Shufang and Nancy Zhou and the delivery team were busy with the lunch and dinner of each participant. Apart from arranging delivery time and routes, they also disinfected every single container before use.
After collation, I will rinse it with boiled water, wipe and dry the containers. Then I will send them to the Eco Harmony Cafe. We do it perfectly, so the participants will be able to eat healthily and healthily.
What challenged us the most is not to use disposable containers. After several rounds of discussion, we almost gave up because of the difficulties involved. Fortunately, the East Zone volunteers were very diligent and willing to undertake the responsibility. We felt at ease because no garbage was generated in this event.
Actually, it's our responsibility to promote environmental protection and vegetarianism. While practicing these ideals daily, we should overcome the challenges with courage and teamwork. That's why the Master said good deeds are not done alone, but many people together.
Although it may not be convenient to use reusable containers, volunteers are willing to do more work for our Mother Earth.
A Taiwan Dali Ruicheng Elementary School alumnus He Mingchang joined the school's folk acrobatic troupe when he was a child. Following the 9/21 earthquake, a famous Chinese opera actor Zhu Luhao visited the campus and discovered this young talent. Now, He Mingchang works in the profession as an excellent acrobatic stuntman.
My name is He Mingchang. I graduated from Ruicheng Elementary School. When I was a third grade student, I was involved in the folk arts club, which I attended every day. At that time, I never thought the 9/21 quake would cause such serious consequences. There are many cracks on the second floor. All the students are attending classes in steel metal huts.
I'm using a very relaxing way today to let everyone know more about opera. We showed our care about the school construction after the earthquake and the hearts of children in the school. And the other is protecting the seeds of our culture. We have to plant it bit by bit.
I spun the ball in my hand and the teacher looked at me in surprise.
Ming Chang is really good. He is really talented. National Taiwan College of Performing Arts has a mixed arts department, which can develop special skills. I encourage you to go if you want to become a famous stuntman in the future. After the seeds are planted, maybe someday his little seeds will germinate.
My current group is a variety show affiliated with my school. I'm also a stuntman. When I came to the school, I was only about 11 years old. I didn't have to pay because it was subsidized by the government. If I passed and got into the school, I vowed to work hard at it.
Ah Chang is very serious in practice, and he is willing to learn.
I am personally competitive and practice a little too much. The muscles and ligaments can't bear it, and it can be bone grinding bone. This bone is made up from parts from my feet and knees. These injuries I've been dealing with. From entering the school till now, I haven't really sought him out. I'm afraid he won't recognize me.
你记得我是谁吗？以前
那时候
对啊，这么小一点，他长大了。我好紧张啊！几年了？有23、24年。哇，差好多哦！是不是？你抱我吧。好，你抱我。哎呀，
对，这样子。
23年前，23年后。
真的交棒了，
现在他棒我了，我其实蛮开心的。现在回想起
I'm actually very happy. This is what I want to see the most. I hope he'll be a good inheritor of this tradition. If he retires from the stage, I hope that he can continue this tradition.
Actually, I still love Ruicheng Elementary School. I still often go back to see teachers.
好久不见，老师。
老师哭了。
哎呀，不哭！你的脸是我都看得很清清楚楚的嘞。
我知道老师有在看啦。
你跟你的娘子还有你的那个宝贝儿子哦，每天他们都在晒恩爱呢。哦，老师非常的羡慕。
We stuntmen are just like athletes. We are limited in number of years of having a professional career. I wondered a few years ago if I should change my career track. After having children, my mind changed a little.
怎么丢3个圈你知道吗？右手就是1，左手就是2，所以我们1、2。
I want to do more to pass on this craft.
然后打出去的时候，拉回来用手接。老师他就像我爸爸一样，你好。
The teacher is like a dad. He gave me the right path and didn't let me go on the wrong path. A teacher is a very important person in my life.
在我身边很重要。
And Gongliao, Taiwan, Tzu Chi curious appear Mr. Lin's mobility issues lead to his habit of lying on the living room floor. Tzu Chi's second-hand assisted device team sent a steel bed and electric adjustable bed to allow Mr. Lin to pick up a favorable choice. Coincidentally, both beds found a new home on the same day of delivery.
Mr. Lin, with mental disorders, always lies on the floor.
He often sleeps on the ground because it's cooler and more convenient for him to watch TV. Tzu Chi brothers and sisters thought it's not so good to see him sleep on the floor like this.
There is an electric bed for you to sleep. You can lift it up when you want to watch TV, okay?
Volunteers couldn't change his habit, so they changed his environment instead. They sent him an electric bed he wanted, but he temporarily changed his mind and wanted a steel bed. Fortunately, volunteers brought both of them and helped him clean up the environment as well.
Yes, it's more comfortable. I can no longer sleep on the floor.
At this time, Mr. Zhang, who lives nearby, is a family that Tzu Chi has been caring for a long time. He specially came to seek help. The extra electric bed now has a new owner. Mr. Zhang's son is already in college. His room is too small to fit in a desk.
As there is no desk here, when I read a book, I need to sit up. But sitting for a long time will actually make you feel uncomfortable. Because of the lighting problem, my head has to lift up with a 45-degree angle.
Now his bed is electric. It can be lifted up, so he can lean on while sitting up to read. It can also be used as a chair for studying.
Sending assistive devices to remote villages, not only to make the best use of the items, but also to help those who really need them.
In Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's ENT department, Dr. Huang Yunchen was once confused about what is a good doctor. He has now found the answer to his question and became a respected, trusted medical practitioner. Let's take a look at his story.
This senior lives a tough life because he lives alone. He cannot stand up on his own. He also had a surgery on both ears with inflammation, so he told me he can't even walk properly. Thus, he cannot go to the hospital for treatment. I suddenly thought we should bring simple equipment over to at least see how he is doing.
Huang Yunchen is an ENT doctor at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. He continued to care for a solitary senior as he gained his trust. Now the senior is willing to receive treatment at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. After graduating from TCU's College of Medicine, Huang Yunchen joined into Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's ENT department as an attending physician. At the time, he faced the stereotypes of being a doctor. This made him ponder how to become a good doctor.
Doctors gave out a serious and professional feeling, so people will distance themselves from them. They think doctors' words are always right, so this is what I thought about being a doctor back then. They have a celebrity status, and that patients have to bow to them. But is this really right?
After Huang Yunchen joined Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, he found an answer.
Our doctors are different here. They will ask if you have any other issues. If you don't, it's fine. But if you have high blood pressure, they will help you measure it. And if it's high, the doctor will help the patient register for the Department of Cardiology. This type of attitude will win over a patient's respect to a doctor. This type of respect comes from a good attitude to a patient, so they will thank the doctor from their hearts.
After participating at Tzu Chi's foreign charity events, Huang Yunchen finally understood the ideals of counting blessings while seeing sufferings.
After we brought care to the people, the locals would give us their most delicious food. This time I was presented a bowl of clean water, which is the best of what they have. They told me the water they drink normally is dirty. It has sand at the bottom, so before giving me this bowl of water, they actually cleaned it. From this, you will have a different perspective on life.
With these thoughts in mind, Huang Yunchen can better understand the needs of patients.
之前打呼的状况应该还好啦哈。
对，有一段时间的话，这2天为什么又开始？
可能跟鼻子过敏有关系。
我感觉他很细心。
I feel that he is very careful and warm. He also explains very well. It makes me feel very rest assured.
Dr. Huang Yunchen says that with a soft heart to care for patients, patients can be truly comforted and trust you. This is what Huang Yunchen seeks to become and is now.
Having been registered on the bone marrow registry for more than 20 years, Luo Shixuan had forgotten about the donor registration. Currently, Luo Shixuan is a doctor at a pediatrics clinic. Although always busy with work, he had taken leave to donate peripheral blood stem cells, wishing to bring hope into a patient's life.
2 arms, both with needles in it, yet his face is still smiling. As a pediatrician, Dr. Luo Shixuan had experience with children with blood diseases and knows full well what the pain the disease brings.
It's pretty sad because children are young, not like adults who might understand the situation better. If you explain things to them, they might not understand, and during treatment, they basically just cry. The parents have it hard as well.
The doctor is busy, but when he received word that he was paired, he was shocked, but still took the opportunity to save a life.
The volunteer called my clinic, and the nurse thought that it was a scam. For the first time, I've heard it, and I was surprised. I had nearly forgotten about it. Donating blood marrow isn't something that's going to affect me, so I asked another doctor to sub in for me, and I took the days off.
After his donation, Dr. Luo also shared his experience on his clinic's fan page. Many of the followers left supporting messages.
It might change a person or even a family. I didn't think to reject this idea. I want to encourage other people that if they have a chance to do this, they should do it.
The seed that was planted 20 years ago has finally come to fruition. Dr. Luo hopes to use his own strength to invite more people to create a second life for another.
2021 is the 10th year of Melbourne Tzu Chi's vegetarian promotion on university campus. Due to the pandemic, this year's Veggie Week is online with the theme of localism, supporting local farmers and seasonal foods. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.